Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri-vāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri-vāsadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 13, Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness, verse number 3. So we can repeat after me. kṣetra-jñaṁ cāpi maṁ viddhi sarva-kṣetreṣu bhārata kṣetra-kṣetrajñayoḥ yat-jñānam matam mama kṣetra-jñaṁ cāpi maṁ viddhi sarva-kṣetreṣu bhārata kṣetra-kṣetrajñayor yat-jñānam matam mama kṣetra-jñaṁ cāpi maṁ viddhi sarva-kṣetreṣu bhārata kṣetra-kṣetrajñayor yat-jñānam matam mama. Matajis. Word to word meaning. kṣetra-jñaṁ, the knower of the field. Cha, also. Api, certainly. Mam, me. Viddhi, no. Sarva, all. Kṣetreṣu, in bodily fields. Bharata, O son of Bharata. Kṣetra, the field of activities, the body. Kṣetra-jñaṁ, and the knower of the field. Jñānam, knowledge of. Yat, that which. Tat, that. Jñānam, knowledge. Matam, opinion. Mama, my. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki translation. O scion of Bharata, O scion of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion. Purport. While discussing the subject of the body and the knower of the body, the soul and supersoul, we shall find three different topics of study: the Lord, the living entity, and matter. In every field of activities, in every body, there are two souls, the individual soul and the supersoul. Because the supersoul is the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa says, I am also the knower, but I am not the individual knower of the body, I am the super knower, I am present in every body as the Paramātmā or Supersoul. One who studies the subject matter of the field of activity and the knower of the field very minutely in terms of this Bhagavad Gita can attain to knowledge. The Lord says, I am the knower of the field of activities in every individual body. The individual may be the knower of his own body, but he is not in knowledge of other bodies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present as the Supersoul in all bodies, knows everything about all bodies. He knows all the different bodies of all the various species of life. A citizen may know everything about his patch of land, but the king knows not only his palace, but all the properties possessed by the individual citizens. Similarly, one may be the proprietor of the body individually, but the Supreme Lord is the proprietor of all bodies. The king is the original proprietor of the kingdom, and the citizen is the secondary proprietor. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the supreme proprietor of all bodies. The body consists of the senses. The Supreme Lord is Rishikesha, which means the controller of the senses. He is the original controller of the senses. Just as the king is the original controller of all the activities of the state, the citizens are secondary controllers. The Lord says, I am also the knower. This means that he is the superknower. The individual soul knows only his particular body. In the Vedic literature, it is stated as follows: Kshetrani sharirani vijam cāpi shubha ashubhe tani veti sa yogatma tatha kṣetra-jñam uchyate. This body is called the Kshetra, and within it dwells the owner of the body and the Supreme Lord, who knows both the body and the owner of the body. Therefore, he is called the knower of all fields. The distinction between the field of activities, the knower of activities, and the supreme knower of activities is described as follows. Perfect knowledge of the constitution of the body, the constitution of the individual soul, and the constitution of the supersoul is known in terms of Vedic literature as jñānam. That is the opinion of Kṛṣṇa. To understand both the soul and the supersoul as one yet distinct is knowledge. One who does not understand the field of activity and the knower of activity is not in perfect knowledge. One has to understand the position of Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer of nature, and Ishvara, the knower who dominates or controls nature and the individual soul. One should not confuse the three in their different capacities. One should not confuse the painter, the painting, and the easel. This material world, which is the field of activities, is nature, and the enjoyer of nature is the living entity. And above them both is the supreme controller, the personality of Godhead. It is stated in the Vedic language, in the Shveta Upanishad 112, Bhokta Bhogyam Preritaram Cha Matva Sarvam Proktam Trividham Brahmam Itam. There are three Brahman conceptions. Prakriti is Brahman as the field of activities, and the Jiva, individual soul, is also Brahman and is trying to control material nature. And the controller of both of them is also Brahman, but he is the factual controller. In this chapter, it will also be explained that out of the two knowers, one is fallible and other is infallible. One is superior and the other is subordinate. One who understands the two knowers of the field to be the one and the same contradicts the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who states here very clearly, I am also the knower of the field of activity. One who misunderstands a rope to be a serpent is not in knowledge. There are different kinds of bodies and there are different owners of the bodies, because each individual soul has its individual capacity for lording it over material nature. There are different bodies, but the Supreme also is present in them as the controller. The word Cha is significant, for it indicates the total number of bodies. That is the opinion of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Kṛṣṇa is the super soul present in each and every body apart from the individual soul. And Kṛṣṇa explicitly says here that real knowledge is to know that the super soul is the controller of both the field of activities and the finite enjoyer. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurate Vase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Once Srila Prabhupada was in Mayapur and was showing the devotees all around. And he came to a place where it was all dirty, like it was very, very dirty. And then Srila Prabhupada told the managers, the devotees, why this is going on, this mode of ignorance. If you do not do anything about the mode of ignorance, and you don't do to correct it and keep it as it is, then you will be in the mode of ignorance. So the mode of ignorance is very natural in the Kali Yuga, and right now it's very easy to go into mode of ignorance. And the conception that one has, like one who is in mode of ignorance, that he knows what he is doing and he is right. Although he has no basis, he just feels it's right. Just like a pig feels very comfortable when he eats stools. But we humans will think twice. But Prabhupada was joking once, these doctors, they sometimes taste the stool to check how much protein is there in that, what to do. So they do that out of ignorance. So this ignorance makes you think that you are very puffed up, you know everything. And when one has such conception or such attitude, he is bereft of the reality, or we can say the transcendental knowledge. Because the rest all is illusion. Because it's all related to the material, not to the spiritual. And to have access to the real knowledge, one needs to develop submission or submissive attitude or humility. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Very difficult. Just like once Prabhupada was sharing a story, like the king asked the Brahmana, okay, please tell me, you are very learned. What's the daily work of God? Batao, chalo. What's the daily work of God? Give me a reference. What is he doing daily? He has created, he has done everything, but what he does himself. So the Brahmana gets confused, okay, nobody has ever inquired about this particular topic. So what should I answer? Then he requested, please king, give me some few days. Let me research nicely. And then I will come back to you with proper answer. So he went to his home, he opened all his library of books, but still was not able to get the answer. What is the daily work of God? Then days were passing, and the king also, warned him, if you don't come with an answer within few days, you will be hanged to death. Okay. So he was very afraid and he was running from the village so that he escapes the death penalty. While he was going outside the kingdom, he came across his disciple, who was a small cowherd boy living at the edge of the kingdom. And he was passing by, and the disciple asked, Maharaj ji, Guru ji, kahan pe ja rahe ho? Where are you going? And why are you so much in panic and rushing? And then he expressed his situation like, this king, he's crazy like anything. He's asking, what is the daily work of God? Who asked such question? And if I don't come with an answer within few days, he will be giving me a death penalty. So I don't have any answer, so that's why I'm running away. So the disciple, a simple cowherd boy, he says, oh, such a simple question. It's very easy to answer. And the guru says, oh, really? I don't know. How can you know? Then he starts his dimag, his intelligence. Okay, let me take him to answer this question. If it's wrong, he will be getting killed, I will be saved. So he takes his disciple and goes to the king. Rajaji, I have your answer. And it's such a simple question that I don't have to trouble myself to answer the question. My disciple, my chela will give the answer. And the chela is brought forward. And the king says, if this guy doesn't give the answer, hang him, kill him. So the chela, the cowherd boy says, so Maharaji, as you know the custom, the one who inquires or asks a question, he is basically in a lower position compared to the person who is relieving the inquiry or like answering the inquiry. So the one who answers, he is given a higher position. So right now you are sitting on the throne, such an elevated position, high up, and I am here below, standing. So now, as per the situation, as per the custom, we need to swap the position. And when he hears, oh, I have to come down from my throne, he gets so angry. He says, "Achhe se marna." Sif taklif dekhi nahi, achhe se marna isko. Then he comes down, and the cowherd boy, he goes on the throne, and he says, Rajaji, Maharaji, I have given the answer to your question. And he gets so agitated, like he couldn't understand what's the answer. He just came down from the throne and he went up on the throne. So what's the answer? So the boy says, oh no, don't worry, still I will explain. I will simplify your doubt. He says, the daily work of God is to elevate those who are humble and to bring down those who are puffed up, who are egoistic, who are filled with pride. That's the daily work of God. So those who are humble, they can have access to transcendental knowledge, to the reality. And that's why they get elevated with consciousness. And those who are proud, they are always brought down by Maya, some way or other. At the death also they face the fall down, but every moment they are facing fall down. That's the reality. Because unless you are submissive, you cannot understand transcendental knowledge. Even when Arjuna was saying so many things, eventually he has to give up his friendship attitude and become a disciple. Please, now I am your disciple, please relieve me from this anxiety, such situation I am in. Because Prabhupada says, friendly talking does not come to any conclusion. Because people take things lightly. That's why there needs to be one authority. Someone is higher, someone is lower. Then only then there will be establishment of a principle of the situation. So who is a disciple? A person who voluntarily submits to the higher authority or allows to be regulated by a higher authority, he is called disciple. But in Kali Yuga, you see all ulta. People are so puffed up. Prabhupada was saying like, even an insignificant person, a beggar is also puffed up. He won't take your 5 rupees coin. 10 rupees chahiye. He's puffed up. So any person, even literate, illiterate, whatever it is, he's puffed up. And this is called Maya. And this is the Kali Yuga effect, very prominent. And they easily de-agree. If you speak about God, they easily de-agree. Once, a very senior devotee, he was in a garden, going for a walk, and he came across a person sitting on the bench. And this person was very old, like very old. Okay, coughing and very struggling to speak something. Okay, so, and he saw the devotee in the devotee get-up, and he says, he asked the devotee, this old man, do you know who is God? And he was looking, okay. And he asked the same question, do you know who is God? And the old man says, oh, I am God. You know, I am God. So the devotee comes in a mood to, okay, let's try to get something from this. He says, oh, finally I have found you. I've given my whole life for you. I woke up early, went to your Mangal Aarti, chanted your name, and finally I found you on a bench in the get-up of an old, weak man. So please, I want to see your power, your potency. Please, there is too much sun on my head. Try to cover up with some trees. Make these trees bigger and taller. The devotee asks the person, and the person says, what makes you think God can do that? The devotee asks, so what is your definition of God then? As per your definition, God will be very old, grumpy, weak, coughing. This is what's your definition of God? So this is what's happening really. People have their own conception of God. They have their own conception of what is spiritual. And due to that conception, they don't listen to others. They become very skeptical. Oh, I know everything. That recently, I was in Alwar, gave the program, and few members, like above 50, they were there, and says, "Bahut acha tha, bahut acha, very nice, very nice." Okay, nice. And then some topic came, okay, we need to do something for the Lord. We are doing everything for the body. Then he says, oh, why we have to do for the God? खुद के लिए भी करना तो भगवान के लिए करना है. Own understanding. And when I checked him, then his face became very aggressive. So 1 second before he was very sweet, thank you and everything. But when you bring the reality in front of his face, that sorry, you are not the controller, there is someone above you, people don't accept that. They don't like it. Because usually when I go and meet newcomers, like very first time coming to Krishna consciousness, I try to explain them what is the difference between body and the soul. So just like, I ask you, Prabhuji, okay. So Prabhuji, what's your name? Huh? Vivek. Okay, Vivek. What's your age? 25, okay. So Vivek, कुछ बरसों पहले आप 2 साल के रहे होगे, 2 years old के रहे होगे, right? उस टाइम पे दाढ़ी वाड़ी was nothing. Everybody was carrying you, Vivek, Vivek. अभी वो कोई उठाता है गोदी में? Right. Nobody picks up you up. ठीक है. So Vivek, where is your 2-year-old body? Can you show me? Does it exist? So it doesn't exist means it has died. Similarly. Now you're 25-year-old, young, handsome, smart and everything. Okay. If I meet you 20 years later, थोड़ा पेट भरा जाएगा and you will be having more white hairs, सब जगह white हो जाएगा. And then that time I ask you, Vivek, can you show me your 25-year young body? Would you be able to show me? No. It doesn't exist. It has died. And eventually you will get old and then you will die and you will leave your body. And you will be in a photo frame. Late Vivek. Right? But interestingly, the body is changing from youth to adulthood to old age, and it's dying. And we ourselves have seen these changes. I've seen my childhood. I have some glimpses of childhood. I've seen my youth. I'm seeing my adulthood. I will be seeing my old age. And I will be also seeing my death. So this person who is observing all these changes, he is not changing. And this is what we are, the unchangeable, which is the soul. And what is changing? The external self, the body. So this is a very simple way to explain what's the body and what's the soul. But after this explanation also, when we say, okay, and Kṛṣṇa is God, you don't agree. So beautiful explanation. We are different from this body and everything. But still people don't agree Kṛṣṇa is God. Because they don't want the absolute truth to be a person. Because then a person will have his choice. He won't like onion garlic. Then I have to follow no onion garlic. He won't like alcohol. Then I have to follow alcohol. They don't like that. That's why they reject. They reject. And they only go, okay, I'm different from this body. But they never live a life based on the real understanding. Yes, you are different from this body, but what you are eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa. That's the reality. Yes, we are different from this body, but what is beyond that? I am servant of Kṛṣṇa. This is the conclusion of the understanding. But they don't go to that. And that's why they are always disconnected from the ultimate purpose. And that's why they are always in illusion. And even Sanatana Goswami is asking, even after being so much learned, reading Bhagavatam, he says, Kiyami kena amaya jare tapatrai, iha nahi jani kemane hita hai. Ki who am I? I'm a prime minister, I'm this and that, but still I'm not able to understand who am I? He's asking the first question to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I'm always in trouble. I'm always in trouble and I do not know how to get benefit. How should I get out of this? So he wanted to inquire who he really is. But nowadays, who is inquiring, who am I? They just go for spirituality, 100 rupees and account mein 1000 rupees and something like that. Always trying to get some profit so that they can enjoy like animals. That's the ultimatum. Why do you need money? To enjoy. Why did you go to college? To get money. Why they study? To get a degree, to get a job. Ultimately, it's all about enjoyment. It's not about inquiring, who am I? Main kaun hu? And when you ask them, who are you? They say, oh, I am Indian, I am this, I am that. Right? And they live their life like this only. The materialists, they live their life like this only. But when somebody dies, they call devotees. Aao thoda program karna padega, Prabhuji, thoda bolna padega. They keep Bhagavad recitation, Gita recitation. Deho asmini tha dehe komaram yona java. Sab sunte hai. And they start become very thoughtful. But when they are having party, they don't call devotees. They don't call devotees. But when they are suffering or some tragedy happens, they call, oh, please come. So the reality, when a person is heated by reality, he becomes thoughtful. That's why Maya is very helpful. It slaps you with reality. Okay, this is what it is. You are going to die. See the reality. But no, still, the enjoying tendency is so prominent, it covers up. It covers this all up. And we are always engaged in the ignorance. And that's why the reality is never visible. It's never visible. But still, by arrangement of Prabhupada books, when people call us for this program, they get access to these books. And someday or other, they will read this and their life will change. That's why it's our duty to make them available. When they are becoming thoughtful or they are inquiring philosophically, this book should be readily available to them. So that's our responsibility. Whenever they are ready. We don't know. It's like a time bomb. सही टाइम पे फूटेगा. अब कब फूटेगा पता नहीं, मगर टाइम बम तो लगा के आ जाओ, रख के आ जाओ वहाँ पे. Okay. So this is real education, to let people know about the living force. They are all worried about this dead matter. Nobody is inquiring the living entity inside. Yantra rudani mayaya. This is yantra, but there is a driver in this body, and this is what we are, the soul. But along with that, there is something more. Something more. But everyone is engaged in this body, and everybody is engaged to give comfort to this body. Chalne mein alas, gaadi create kar diya. Gaadi bhi is not limited. You can fly also. Aeroplane create kar diya. They are always manufacturing. So when you manufacture, this is not knowledge, Prabhupada says. This is craftsmanship. And Prabhupada was saying that this technical education to create something was also given to demons. Demons were creating aeroplanes and this and that. Just like Ravana was creating staircase to heaven. Yogis, they never do that. By their potency, they used to create palaces, they used to go to the higher planets without any endeavor. But this creation and this manufacturing tendency is always with the demons. They are educated in that only, not the yogis. So here it said, kṣetra-kṣetrajñaṁ. This body is kṣetra, the field of activities, and the field worker is different, the knower of this field. Just like there is a farm and there is a farmer. The farmer is the kṣetra, the knower of that farm is the farmer. So we never say, I am farm. कोई बोलता नहीं कि मैं खेत हूँ. We always say, ये मेरा खेत है, right? But do we really live like that? Tring, tring, this is your tongue calling. Mahaprasadam, rasgulla, rasmalai, I want. And you say, okay. Let me arrange some Mahaprasadam for you. Tring, tring, eye says, I am getting bored out from darshan of the Lord. I want to see something. Show me some YouTube videos. Tring, 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 ears, they want to hear some movie songs. So always when these senses are calling for you, dictating, I want this, what you do? We immediately says, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. But are we these senses? No, you are not your eyes. Do you say, me eyes, me nose, me leg? We never say that. But still when we live like that. Oh, my eyes are asking, oh, my ears are asking, oh, my tongues are asking. We are living like that. And that's why we say that we are different from this body, but still we are living like this body. We are not living like a soul. That's the reality. And this is what we have to come up. And how it's possible? Only when we know the source of everything. By knowing Kṛṣṇa, you can know everything. Just like it said, if you are put in a very dark room, in a darkness you can't even see your hands and legs. What about the environment? But as soon as there is a light which comes from the top, when you see the light, you see yourself, and you see the all around you. So this is what we have to do. We have to inquire about the absolute truth, the higher source, sarva-kṣetreṣu. And when you know him, you know everything else. You don't have to inquire for anything else. And this is what people are missing. They're keeping this ascending process. When we talk about consciousness, they give very jugglery of words, they give some statement. But they never talk about a real source, which is God. Scientists are very afraid to use this word, God. They don't even use this word, intelligent design. Because when you use this word, intelligent design, it means there is someone with intelligence. Just like when there is a painting, there is a painter. But they don't want to go with that. No. Everything was created by Big Bang. And so many different theories, just to reject, they can't understand the depth of this universe. They say, what do you say? Black matter? क्या था वो? Black energy, कुछ तो है. Dark hole or grey hole, something like that. They make some these words. They never say it's Kṛṣṇa's energy. This is their situation because they are envious of Kṛṣṇa. And as soon as you are envious of Kṛṣṇa, you will be puffed up. When you are puffed up, forget about transcendental knowledge. And this is what Prabhupada is saying. The Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement is meant to teach you humility. This is what this movement is all about. To teach you submissiveness to the authority. And this is what we don't have. Why are we in this material world? Because we have rejected the authority of Kṛṣṇa and we are becoming our own authority and we want to enjoy our own way, but still we can understand that everything is being provided by Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is protecting you right now also. Even if you have abandoned him, still he is handling you. But we don't accept that. So puffed up. So that's why everyone is taking care of this kṣetra, this body. But nobody is inquiring about the occupier of the body or the owner of the body. This is what this verse is talking about. There is the occupier and there is the owner also. There are two kṣetragyas, not only one. Just like when there is a house, some of you might be living in a tenant, like a rented tenant. तो आप भाड़ा देते हो, right? तो भाड़ा किसको देते हो? खुद को तो नहीं देते हो. You give to the owner. So there is a house, which is the field. There is the occupier, which we are, and there is the owner of both of them. Because he owns you also. How? He tells you, ये दीवार पे कुछ नहीं करने का. ये ऐसे इस्तेमाल करना. He tells you everything, how to do and what to do. So that's why he is controlling everything. Therefore there are two occupiers. One is occupier and there is Supersoul, the owner. And this is the reality. Kṛṣṇa, everything belongs to Kṛṣṇa only. Īśāvāsyam idam sarvam. This is the real philosophy. But what we have the philosophy, the Kali Yuga people, or like most of us who were not in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, this is mine, me, and mine. Bakri aisa, मैं, mera. Nothing beyond that. Nothing beyond it. ये मेरा कास्ट, ये मेरा जात, ये मेरा घर, ये मेरा. Never says this is Kṛṣṇa's. And that's why there is always fighting. When you used to go in childhood to some trip, we used to always fight for this window seat in the train. ये मेरी सीट है, ये मेरी सीट है. It's so easy to claim proprietorship. ये मेरा है. It's so easy to claim proprietorship. Because Kṛṣṇa is not claiming, he's not saying, but still he's there invisibly. Only an intelligent person can see, there is a proprietor. I have not created this train. I don't know from where this material has arrived. We don't know anything. We don't know what's happening in our body also. How much we know about our body? Very less. But Kṛṣṇa knows about this body, he knows his body, he knows everyone's body. How it was created, why it was created, who is suffering, who is enjoying, who is happy, who is not happy. He knows everything. That's why he's knower of everything. And that's why he's God. I know my suffering. मुझे पता है मेरे साथ क्या चल रहा है. I don't know what Prabhuji is suffering from. He's laughing although, but I don't know what he's laughing about what. But Kṛṣṇa knows. He knows mine. He knows his also. This is what Kṛṣṇa is. He's not limited. He's not limited. He's unlimited. And that's why if everything belongs to Kṛṣṇa, then you have to offer him. That's why this sacrifice has been created. Offer to Kṛṣṇa. Yajna arthat karmano anyatra loko yam karma bandhana. If you don't offer to the proprietor, then you will get a penalty. You will be suffering. That's the system. You need to be grateful to the one who is giving you. If you don't, then you have to suffer. Then you have to suffer. So we have to offer sacrifices and we have to work for him. He is our boss. We might have many bosses. In the form of the one who gives you salary, the one who you have married, your wife might be your boss. You might have multiple bosses. But there is only one boss that you have to satisfy. That's Kṛṣṇa. There is nothing more than that. So this is what we have to do. We have to satisfy Kṛṣṇa. Karmana vidakaraste tu ma phaleshu kadachana. You have to work for him. Don't expect a result. He will decide how much to give. And that's very interesting. Even though you struggle and endeavor for so much money, you will get what is decided. I have my brother who is a marine engineer and he earns 6 lakh a month. Okay. He went for 6 months, earned 36 lakh rupees. He came from the ship in India. When he came, he got a call. You have to pay 23 lakh rupees. For what? Your brother is getting divorce. You have to settle that divorce. So this is very interesting. You earn so much money, but it goes where it's supposed to go. You can't control it. Because you don't have control it. You just work for it. That's why we have to work for Kṛṣṇa. And Kṛṣṇa will give you what's necessary. And Kṛṣṇa will kick out what's not necessary. We have to allow Kṛṣṇa to come into our life. What we do? बस तुम मंदिर के अंदर ही रहो. हमारे जीवन में नहीं आना है. Don't come in our life. इधर ही खुश दिखो. बस स्माइल करते रहो. हमें लगेगा हम सब सही कर रहे हैं. Don't give us instruction. We can't hear instruction. Because we don't want to follow. We just want to use you so that we can fulfill our desires. Exploitive mentality. So if you have exploitive mentality towards the Lord, how can we expect good mentality towards all other living entities? We will exploit everyone. We will exploit everyone. That's why we have to start loving God. We have to start loving Kṛṣṇa. Only then we can expect love among ourselves. If you love Kṛṣṇa, you will love his devotees also. You won't fight, you will tolerate, you will adjust, you will compromise. But if you don't love Kṛṣṇa, you won't accept. You will argue, you will try to defend yourself, you will try to fight for your situation, so many things. Do diplomacy, do politics, and X, Y, Z. So that's why we have to adjust as per Kṛṣṇa's desire. Kṛṣṇa says, I love my devotees. And those who love my devotees more than me, I love them more. So this is what's all about. Loving each other. But what's the situation? We love us just ourselves. बस मुझे प्यार चाहिए और किसी को प्यार नहीं चाहिए. And Prithu Maharaj says, like it's in the chapter where it said the personalities were glorifying Prithu Maharaj, very nice statement, like Prithu Maharaj was dealing with everyone the way he was expecting others to deal with him. तो जिस तरह से वो व्यवहार कर रहे थे, जिस तरह से वो एक्सपेक्ट करे कि लोग मेरे साथ ऐसे व्यवहार करें, हम क्या करते हैं? सब चाहते हैं, we think that everyone should respect me, should be doing वाहवाही of me. But when it comes to us, oh, ये ऐसा है. We never respect, we just only criticize. But he never did that, Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj always behaved the way he expected others to behave with him. So this is such a good quality. And if we bring this quality, automatically it's so easy to develop good qualities. So that's the thing we have to understand. How to deal with everyone. And this is what we are learning with devotee association. It's not so easy to do services with different type of people, with different background, different consciousness, different attitude, different talent. It's very difficult. And sometimes noises comes like argument and disagreement. It happens. It says, बर्तन साथ में रहेंगे तो आवाज तो होगा ही होगा. So it's there, but still you compromise and adjust for the Lord. For the Lord. Okay, no problem. Kṛṣṇa wants like that. You have to understand, Kṛṣṇa is not just limited in the altar. He is present in your life. Personally, he is present. He is observing your life. What's happening with you? How can I purify this person? So whenever some unfavorable situation arises in your life, you have to accept it and understand this is for my benefit. Don't fight against it. It's for my benefit. It's purifying me. If something bad happens to you, understand it's for your benefit. Don't try to fight the situation. Accept the situation. This is and what you do, accept the situation, you chant peacefully Hare Krishna. But if you fight, then your mind will be agitated. Then it's very difficult to chant Hare Krishna. It's very difficult to hear Bhagavad Katha. It's very difficult to be peaceful. So you have to learn to accept. You have to learn to accept Krishna as the controller of not the only universe, of our lives also. And especially after being a devotee, we have to accept that. We don't accept that so easily. You might give classes and so many things, but when it comes to us personally, aisa kyun? Why like this? Why not like that? Always complaining. But we have to work only for Krishna. Swakarmana tam abhyarcha sam siddhir labhate nara. By working honestly for Krishna, for satisfaction of Him, this is perfection of life. And this will give you the real satisfaction, the real peace. Otherwise, every one of us is trying to become an enjoyer, a fake enjoyer. I will try to tell you a very nice story I heard in one class. There are two persons, a man and a woman. The man was such tall, broad shoulders, like handsome like anything, like a personality. And the woman was like totally golden hair, blonde hair and white, so beautiful, like a princess. Okay. And they both meet together and they go for enjoyment. When they go, the man removes his hat. Bali nahi hai. There is no hair. The woman, she removes her hair. Pure baal safed. Then she removes her teeth and gives in the water. And then he removes his shoes, he's much more shorter. So they were pretending to be young. The reality was, they were so ugly, they can't even enjoy. But still they wanted to enjoy. The tendency of enjoyment doesn't go with time. It stays with you. Till the end. We all know that pastime. It was asked, when can we get free from lust? It's difficult. Till the end it will be there. Till the end it will be there. So how to get free from lust? By loving. Only by love we can overcome lust. Otherwise it's very difficult. Very difficult. That's what we are saying. Lust everywhere. There is lust, that's why there is so much fight, so much divorce, so much murder, so much killing. Why it's happening? Only due to lust. This is the only reason. That's why we don't hear any good in the newspaper. किसी ने इसको मार दिया, उसने इसको मार दिया और इसको पता नहीं कुछ चलता रहता है. Why? Only due to lust. There was one video where the husband is driving the car and his wife is sitting behind, next to him. Nice car, but only they had this safety bag. सबको पता है safety bag होता है, air bags होता है. जब एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है तो आपको बचा लेता है. ये गाड़ी में सिर्फ ड्राइवर की सीट में था, जो हस्बैंड के पास था. तो the wife says, I am having an affair. जैसे हस्बैंड सुनता है, he increases his speed. He gets angry. Then wife says, with your best friend. और speed increase हो जाता है. He is very nice. और speed increase हो जाता है. He takes care of me very nicely. और speed increase हो जाता है. I want divorce. और speed increase हो जाता है. I'll keep my children's more aggressive. I want this house also. और increase हो जाता है. You're not saying anything. Don't you want anything else? No, I am happy. The car speed was 150 km/h. Then he says, I have airbag with me. Because he was planning to crash. And he will be saved, he will be killing her. This is what's happening. Cheaters and cheated. People are getting cheated and someone is cheating. Why? Out of only lust. There is no presence of God. When this presence of God, your heart will become soft. And all the deep-rooted desires, which are like jam ho chuka hai andar, only then it can come out of your heart. Otherwise it will always be there inside. So you have to soften your heart. How can you soften your heart? While bringing a very soft person. And who is more softer than Kṛṣṇa? There is no one. He said, Kṛṣṇa, when you touch, it's like butter. Your finger goes in. There is no one softer than Kṛṣṇa. Not only physically, but with his nature, with his instruction, with his smile, there is no one better than Kṛṣṇa. And this is what we have to do. Bring Kṛṣṇa in our heart. And only then all these unwanted things, anartha, not needed, it will go away. Otherwise, it will always stay inside, deep-rooted. So that's what we have to do. Bhagavata Sevaya, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. The more we hear about Kṛṣṇa, the more we see his beautiful nature. And then we say, oh, aur kuch nahi chahiye, bas Kṛṣṇa hi chahiye. Because this is the time that we have to understand, we have to stay committed. Many lifetimes we have been committed to the illusion. Illusion means to the body. मैं, मेरा घर वाले, उनके लिए लोन लूंगा मैं. Yeah, I will take loan. हर जन्म में लोन लिया है, कब लेना छोड़ोगे? हर जन्म में लिया है लोन, कब लेना छोड़ोगे? नहीं नहीं मेरे घर वाले. What about Kṛṣṇa? No, not needed. So let's stay committed to Kṛṣṇa till the end, from the start. Not stay committed to the illusion, stay committed to the reality. That Kṛṣṇa is everything. There is nothing beyond Kṛṣṇa. Parataram Nyānyat. Kṛṣṇa says there is nothing beyond me. So why are we going for big houses, big cars, beautiful wife? Why we are going? There is nothing beyond Kṛṣṇa. But still we go. Still we go. And the more we give up this opportunity, the more we are delaying our chance to go back to him. So we should not give this opportunity. That's why Prabhupada is saying, this lifetime, only this lifetime, give it to Kṛṣṇa. Try to give it to Kṛṣṇa. Only this one lifetime. So let's try this lifetime. Stay committed. And when you stay committed, Kṛṣṇa will reveal himself. Bhaktya mām abhi janati. Only a devotee can understand Kṛṣṇa. So who is devotee? Who is committed to Kṛṣṇa? If you're not committed, if you're just faking, oh, teen mala, janev, and so many things, but not committed. What means commitment? I'm taking responsibility for Kṛṣṇa. I'm taking responsibility for the services to Kṛṣṇa. This means commitment. If a wife is not serving your house, so she's not committed. She's doing something else. So we have to take responsibility for Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa wants to preach these glories. So we have to take responsibility for preaching. To take responsibility for cleaning. So many things that we have to do for Kṛṣṇa. So let's stay committed to Kṛṣṇa. And when we do that, then everything makes sense. Kṛṣṇa will reveal himself. And then you will accept that God can be blue boy. It's difficult, right? Bhagwan blue? और कोई रंग नहीं मिला भगवान को. But then you will understand why he is blue. How is he blue? How is he blue? To understand this transcendental realm, you have to be in the transcendental situation or in the attitude. And what's that attitude? Being submissive. This is the start of spiritual life. Being submissive. Tad vidhi pranipat, nipat. Nipat means to be submissive. And the more you become submissive, the more it will be revealed. The more it will be revealed. And then we can understand everything. Kṛṣṇa, this Prakriti, who is Purusha, who is Ishvara, we can understand everything. Nothing will be hidden. This is a book which is available to everyone, but nobody can understand unless it's revealed to you. Only by a proper attitude, which is like submissive attitude, it can be revealed. So this is what we have to develop. And we have to hear again and again. Once a devotee, a disciple of Prabhupada, complained to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, always you are saying, I am not this body, I am this soul. Kuch aur bolo, bore ho gaya hai. Again and again, I am not this body, I am this soul, I am this soul. Why? Something new? Prabhupada said, and asked him, staring at him, are you free from sex desire? Are you free from lust? He said, no. That's why. Again, you are not this body, you are soul, you are servant of Kṛṣṇa. Again and again. To fix in your intelligence, you are this rascal, you are not something else. So that's why we have to hear again and again. And someday, when Kṛṣṇa will turn on that switch, it will be clicked. Okay, ab samjha bhai. बार sun raha tha, kabhi samjha nahi. Now it will be understood. And that time you can expect some different rasas will come up. Like today in the class only, Prabhuji was mentioning, Kṛṣṇa has the switch for prema. It's up to him when to give you prema. But before prema, at least develop dasya. At least become dasya. Start, show your love first. Kṛṣṇa will reveal the love, the real love. Show your commitment first. So, thank you. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Okay, thank you. Śrīmad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samasta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. हरि बोल।